All right, we are live. 7 Days Media Football Show. Tomorrow's preview tonight. It's a Jerry trademark.
Hell yeah, it is. Fucking marketing, baby.
Marketing, big marketing guy.
Budweiser, right. Sponsor us.
Budweiser. I would love it. I would love it. Bring us free Budweiser.
I'm sure someone from Anheuser-Busch is watching the stream.
Yeah, definitely.
Why wouldn't they?
Where else would you rather be on a Saturday night than right here? Okay, so few things to open up the show with, some news and notes from around the league, and then we'll get into Sunday's games. Joe Burrow's not playing tomorrow.
He's not.
Yeah, they opened up his window. I think he can miss like two more games for them before they have to shut him down. So I guess they want to see how, this week goes. Kind of stupid in itself. I feel like yeah, I know. We gotta keep it moving here. Joe Burrow's not playing tomorrow. Shedeur, Jerry's back.
Yeah,
Shedeur is the starter.
Yeah, Shedur's going to start tomorrow versus the Raiders. 49ers are releasing Brandon Ayuk at some point. It might be after the season thing. Yeah.
After all that money they gave him. Holy shit.
Yeah, so it seems like they're going to activate a clause that kind of gets them out of paying him. And I guess it's in relation to him showing up late, him missing practice. Basically, it's an attendance and tardiness issue, which, like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but if you're making millions, it's not hard to show up on time. It's not hard to, like, even if you're in a bad situation, which the 49ers are not a bad situation.
Far from it.
I would say the only thing to complain about playing for the Niners is probably how much taxes you lose playing in the state of California
and I feel as if, and I'm talking completely out of my ass here, something has to be up with their training staff. Just the sheer volume of injuries that team sustains year in and year out. Like maybe I'm just making stuff.
People said the same thing about the Ravens. The Ravens had
the Ravens proved it correctly. If I remember correctly, a couple of years ago, their athletic training staff got an F grade in the NFL report cards.
And maybe that has something to do with it. I mean, not to waste too much time on this, but CMC came to the 49ers injury prone. Trent Williams came to the 49ers injury prone. So these aren't it's not like guys have been coming here that have been free of injury concerns. I mean, Deebo Samuel was hurt in college a bunch. So it's like, it's a two-way street. So I don't know. And I guess Brandon Ayuk, I definitely heard some issues about him. I think there's rumors that he probably could have returned. He was healthy. He's been healthy or healthy enough to return. And then just not activating him for a reason, or he doesn't want to be activated. I don't know. It's a shitty situation, especially when you're as good a receiver as him, and this could, torpedo your career.
In more positive news, how you doing, Keen Stevens? I don't know who that is. Is that one of your friends?
Keen? I don't know.
Might be a friend of mine. Maybe.
Well, thank you for supporting the channel. In other more positive news, DJ Reed looks like he's coming back for the Lions. He was placed on IR, I want to say week 4, and he's been out since, or maybe it might have been week 4 against the Browns, and no, the week after. So yeah, I guess whatever it was, and now he's coming back. So that's great to see. It looks like Malcolm Rodriguez is going to be coming back for the Lions as well. The Chiefs have an absolute must-win against the Colts this week. The Chiefs are 500. They're 5-5. And the Texans beat the Bills. I guess that's probably the best place to start. Texans beating the Bills on Thursday night. I don't think anybody had this on their bingo card. I think when the Bills...
I absolutely did not. $15 says I did not.
You know what? I mean, in Houston, it's kind of... It's 2020 hindsight. You probably should have seen that coming, that the Bills would have taken. That there's a good chance they could have lost that. But Sean McDermott's got to be gone. That's as simple as that. Sean McDermott probably just lost his job, unless they go out and win the Super Bowl. Sean McDermott's job is probably gone. I mean, they've had too many blunders in season, and And whether it's his fault, the GM's a combination, their inability to draft a true weapon for Josh Allen, or at least get someone here, is really kind of hurt them the past few years. If they had another weapon, another big weapon, we could be talking very differently about the Bills and Josh Allen. How they're Super Bowl winners, first time ever. But here we are.
That seems to be the consensus among my Bill fan friends, that Sean McDermott is kind of a pussy, and he runs he's a better version of. Let me see if I can get this exact comparison that I got today. But like you said, he's probably going to be on his way out, and it's either Super Bowl or bust for him, not so much the team. I don't think they're going to rebuild. I think they have the core is what they need. They have a lot of young receivers who still, I feel like, have yet to kind of really prosper, but have a lot of potential, I think at least. But the core they have isn't going to get broken up, and they're just going to get new, management in the front, both in the front office and on the sideline.
I think what's most concerning is the Keon Coleman news that came out that he's been running late to practice for about a year now. He's missed meetings. He's he's been late to practices. Kind of goes back to maybe some of the stuff that was coming out about Ayuk. It's pretty, and like I said, I don't want to spend a tremendous amount of time on this, but you're a professional, we're all making a lot less than these guys. We all show up on time at work every day because that's what's expected of us. But you know what? I no longer blame the player if the player does it once or twice, I will blame the player. And don't get me wrong, Keon Coleman is clearly, if what everything is being said is true, he's a child that hasn't grown up yet because he hasn't been asked to grow up yet. But I think when it becomes a pattern, it's now a head coach problem, right? Because the head coach is setting the tone for the organization. If this is something that's going on day in and day out, you're no longer looking at the player. You're looking at the head coach and saying, what are you going to do about this? And it's been going on for a year, and we just found out about it now. That's a significant problem. To me, that is a bigger reason to fire a guy than losing games for a little bit this year. Let's be real here. Going into this year, I think most of us, and I'm not a Bills fan. I don't have a lot of Bills fan friends, but Sean McDermott was pretty widely considered a top-tier coach in the NFL. Maybe not at the Jim Harbaugh, Sirianni level, Andy Reid level. Okay,
I wouldn't put Sirianni in that echelon.
Well, he just won a Super Bowl. I'm going to give him the credit. I don't think he's a great head coach, but the man just won a Super Bowl. He's been to 2 in the past 3 years. You got to give credit where credit's due, or whatever. 2 in the past 5 years. But this is not a guy that was on the hot seat, and all of a sudden now he's on the hot seat. I still don't know that I agree with it. I think if you're a Bills fan, think long and hard before you want this guy fired, and it doesn't mean that this guy being the best you've had in decades is a good thing, right? This has been my analogy. I could be the skinniest guy that walks into a Weight Watchers class or Weight Watchers. It doesn't mean I'm healthy, right? It doesn't mean I look good in a bathing suit. So I just think back. It's kind of a combination of if you think you could do better and there's better out there, okay, go ahead and fire them. But you're not that long removed from being the doormat of the NFL for a long time. And yes, Josh Allen has a lot to do with that. But there are other teams that have really good quarterbacks, the Bengals, and don't have much to show for it. And not that the Bills have a whole lot to show for it. They've won the division for a while, and now it looks like that reign is over now that the Patriots are fucking back. But think about what you want, Bills fans, because okay, it's looked ugly, and if all this Keon Coleman stuff is true, I would say that's probably the bigger reason to fire McDermott. But
how old is he?
24, 23. 24. He's young. It's the second year.
Keon Coleman?
Yeah.
Early 20s.
He's young, early 20s. Yeah. I mean, to not jump off this, but I mean, it's a good segue. It's kind of a lot, probably why Brian Daboll got fired. You heard stories about Abdul Carter showing up late to practices, to meetings. And in his first week after Brian Daboll got fired, there was a report going out that he slept through a meeting. I guess that was proven to be false, and it was just him late because he was in a recovery room.
Yeah.
And Mike Kafka came out the gun and said, "You're sitting the first set of downs," and he did. And then he went out there for punt team. He got punished for it, and you know what? He owned up to it, and hopefully he's made right by it, and he's not showing up late. You had Brian Burns talk about it. You had some of the other vets talk about it. So this is an easy way to get fired as a coach if you're going to go out there and let players slide with this type of shit, especially players that aren't showing up. I mean, it's always easy to say that you're going to let the superstar slide with that stuff, but you don't want to set that example. But it's a little bit easier to let them slide versus a person who is not performing well whatsoever.
And it's difficult. Like, people will always say, like, "Oh, just cut the guy," or like, no, you can't just cut a first round pick. It doesn't work like that. You only
especially with the financial implications and everything.
These guys make way too much money now too. Like in the 90s,
I wouldn't say those guys are like, you could cut a first round pick and financially recover from it. The point is that guy is an asset, and if it's not working, you could always trade him. But to just cut him, you're getting nothing, and you're getting a financial hit. And like, that's why, like, I've been told, like, oh, Belichick would never allow this. Like, yes, but Belichick's first round picks didn't do this, right? Because there was a vetting process in New England. There's a vetting process in Detroit where they find out how many times that guy was late in college to his classes, not just practice, to his classes, right? They want to know those things ahead of time before drafting him. I mean, it does kind of bring me back to like the Jaguars in 2017, right? Those years where they were a talent-wise really good team, but they were a group of like undisciplined guys. And Tom Coughlin was the GM, and he would just continuously draft these guys that were high talent but low discipline guys. And he just kind of thought, well, once they get here, they'll fall in line. And they didn't. And, the Jaguars led the NFL in grievances with the players union, and it was a big legal issue with them. And that went on for a little while, and they had to fire Tom. So that stuff doesn't really correct itself. If you're a shithead in college, it doesn't mean you'll be a shithead in the pros, but like,
there's a good chance, better chance.
There's a good chance that, it will. So, do we have anything else on this? Or, I mean, kind of the ramifications of this, the Texans get another win. The Bills, it's going to be harder and harder for them to win the East.
I think that's out of the question, but
it's not out of the question. It's certainly not out of the
question. They have to play the Pats again.
They do, but they do. But I'll say this one thing. Regardless of where the Bills finish, as long as they're in the playoffs, the leaders in the AFC right now, you have the Patriots obviously leading the East. You have the Colts leading the South. You have the Steelers leading the North, and then the Broncos leading the West. None of those four teams want to play any of the Bills. They do not want to play the Ravens, and they do not want to play the Chiefs. I don't think it matters.
The Pats are very okay playing them. Well,
no, they're not.
But here's the thing, though.
Is Drake May ready for it? Vrabel's ready. Is Drake May ready for it?
The veteran I've been here before mentality that the Bills have and the Chiefs have and the Ravens have. Granted, you can't. I mean, it's hard to say it for the Ravens and the Bills because
it's an uphill battle for the Ravens.
But they're like, I don't know, you're cutting in and out, but I think you might have just said battle hardened. Both those teams, the Bills and the Ravens, are both battle hardened, veteran ran teams who have been in the dance before and know what it takes and know what to do and like can go through the turmoil. And the Patriots, being as young as they are, with not a rookie quarterback, a sophomore quarterback playing as well as he is, he might get to the big dance and kind of shit down his leg, as we saw a couple times before in many different cases. So it's going to be interesting what happens down the stretch.
I mean,
it's going to be a fun AFC playoff.
It's been a while. It's been a while since this happened, but like everything you guys are saying, the same things were said about Russell Wilson in Seattle his second year, right? This is a guy who doesn't know what it's like. He hasn't been there before. And then what did he do? He goes to a Super Bowl and they beat the shit out of the Broncos. So, like, I'm not sitting here saying that the Patriots are perfect, but I will tell you this: if I'm a betting man, and I am, if the Bills see the Patriots, I think it depends how this next Bills Patriots game goes. Now, remember, the first game they played was in Western New York, right? And the Pats won.
Mm-hmm.
I think if the Pats handle them well and beat them by a significant, let's say, I'll call 5 points. Yeah, 5 to 7 points, right? That's significant. If they beat them significantly, I'm gonna feel pretty good about them beating them a third time. I really will. Like everything that we have heard, all of the the Bills are not bulletproof. They're not this juggernaut anymore, right? There's clear problems on that defense. Very clear problems on that defense.
I'm gonna run through them. It's Swiss cheese.
It is not a good run. It is not the same run defense.
Secondary's good
that we saw a year ago. Yeah. Not that it was great a year ago, but it was certainly a little better than this. Mm-hmm. I just think as a whole, this team is much more flawed. There's too many stories circling about them. I think, yes, the Patriots have not had the most difficult schedule, but they've played the same teams the Bills have played. Like, why do we continue, and not necessarily you guys, but like nationally, and I guess it's just because the Bills have been really good for the past 5 years. Why do we continue to talk about the Bills any different than we talk about the Patriots? Like, they've played the same teams, and the Patriots have looked significantly better doing so.
Yes and no. Yes, they have the same schedule, but the Bills But the Bills have played different teams. They beat the Ravens to start the season. They've
the Pats still have to play the Ravens.
They beat the Chiefs, yes, and they beat the Buccaneers. So they've beaten teams that the Bills or the Patriots have yet to face.
The Patriots just played the Buccaneers and they beat them significantly.
Yes, but they haven't played the Chiefs or the Ravens. So no, you have two teams that the Bills beat that you would say are top.
The Pats will not play
They won't play the Chiefs.
No, but they're going to play the Ravens.
They will play the Ravens. I would say even though the Bills and the Patriots basically have the same schedule, the Bills has been harder up to this point than the Patriots has. So I think, and even the Panthers.
That's actually not true. That's actually not true. Lower winning percentage of teams they played. And I think the Pats have had statistically, I don't know what DVOA stands for, but they've had the hardest DVOA schedule in the NFL, which I can't understand how that works. I don't really get that.
Defense adjusted value over average.
Don't really understand
what the fuck that means.
So that was thrown at me by a Patriots fan, one of my good friends,
Chase.
So
the Bills don't have an easy stretch of games. They have the Steelers next week. They have the Browns in a couple weeks where their offense sucks, but that defense is fucking.
I think the Bills
and then the Eagles the second week of the season, second to last week of the season. So
the Bills' only chance at winning this division. My fucking computer wasn't plugged in.
I don't think they're winning the division.
I think their only chance to do so is beating the Patriots this next time around in Foxborough. I think if you beat them, you stand a chance here, but the Pats are at a 2-game lead over them.
3. 2.5, actually.
Yeah, 2.5, right? They're 7-4.
I think the only way they win is if they win. They can only lose one game, and that's to the Eagles or the Browns. I think, to be honest, I think they'd have to win 5 of the next 6, and obviously they have to beat the Patriots in that stretch as well.
Let's get into these 1 o'clocks here.
Yeah,
I touched on it earlier. The Chiefs have, I think this is probably the biggest 1 o'clock game. I gotta clean that off. Biggest 1 o'clock game. This is actually a great 1 o'clock window, but the biggest game in the 1 o'clock window, I believe, is going to be Colts Chiefs.
Didn't realize that game was at 1 o'clock. That has 4 o'clock written all over it.
That's in Kansas City too, right?
Yeah. So that's a 12 o'clock kickoff for them. Chiefs are 5-5. Colts are 8-2. The Colts have some clear issues as well. However, they've found ways to win. It certainly helps that they play in a very weak division. The Jaguars are in a playoff spot, so might put my foot in my mouth there. What do we think with this? The Chiefs are -3.5.
Pick 'em.
That's actually kind of surprising. -3.
The heart, it's insanely surprising. I do not understand it.
I'll take Colts.
I think it's a fucking trap. I could see it from a mile away, and I'm looking down the pipeline, and my money is going to go straight to the shoe tomorrow. But I don't love it. There's got to be – it's a trap. The thing is with this game is that this game, no joke, and granted, they're treading water right now themselves, so who knows what's going to happen. But this game is not only the Chiefs' season, this is the dynasty we're talking about. And I hate to recycle takes from part of my take, but like this is literally everything the Chiefs have built in the past, 5-6 years, however it is, comes down to this game. Because if they lose this game, it's over. That's it. It's time to kind of look at the next chapter and see where it's going to be. They're probably not going to make the playoffs if they lose this game. And that's going to be that for this iteration of the Chiefs. Where they go from here, I'm not too sure.
Are they 2 back of the Jags for the last wild card spot right now?
I don't know. All I know is that they're 5-5, and it's an ugly looking record. I don't know where it stands. They're 1 back, I guess, past that, but where that stands as a standing point, I do not know. But it's an ugly.
But they lost head to head with the Jags, so they're basically 2 back. And they lost head to head with the Bills.
So they need to win this game. They need to win this game pretty badly. This is it's not good for the Chiefs. I mean, it's kind of funny. They have the best weapons. Rashee Rice has come back and he's dominated. Travis Kelce's playing the best he has in a few years, but something's off, and I think it has a lot to do with that run game. They have no run game. I mean, Kareem Hunt can score when they get down to the goal line, but that's it. And then the defense, has issues. Yeah, they should have.
They got cheap. They didn't want to pony up for Brees. They only offered a 4th, allegedly.
They really should have. And, I mean, the defense has issues. They're not letting up a ton, but they're also not stopping teams like they should. They're letting teams be able to drive and own the clock, which is something the Chiefs really haven't done over the past few years. We've seen a lot of them being able to stop teams in the early, stop teams and hold teams to short drives and then go in and dominate the clock themselves by taking advantage of the run game and not really having that downfield play like they have had, but still being able to progress the ball forward. So they're not in a good position this year. It's weird. It's very weird for them to see them like this, considering how well Travis Kelce has played. It's a bizarre year for them, I'll say, but they need to win because I think at this point they're not overtaking the Broncos, and even though I think the Broncos are fake as fuck, I think even the Chargers, it'll be tough for them to overtake the Chargers, being probably 2 back of them at this point. So
the Broncos beat them head to head like last week. You could call the Broncos fake, but like they beat them.
That's a team I'm not afraid of, to be honest. I'm not afraid of Bo Nix. The defense
people keep saying that, but like the Broncos keep winning.
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay,
who else kept winning? The Titans of years ago, and I don't think anyone was afraid of them. So it's
I think people weren't afraid of like Ryan Tannehill, but like it was a really good defense, and it was a damn good run game with Derrick Henry. I don't think Bo Nix is Ryan Tannehill. I think those are 2 very different quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I agree. Like everything when you watch the Broncos, it's not the most intimidating team. Like I think the Broncos at their best are like nowhere near. Like I think, and I'm biased. I don't know if I've said it on the show. Like I think if you're talking about teams at their best, like firing on all cylinders, all 32 teams. Like, I think there is no team more intimidating than the Lions. If the Lions are on, right? Like, if the run game is on, right? I don't think so.
I think it's the Rams. That defense is legit. But yes.
Fine, I'll give you the Rams. Fine. Like, I think the Broncos, when they're at their best, are not. Yes, I agree with you. Like, they're not one of those great teams, but yet you're not getting at their best every week. And the Broncos are finding a way to win. They're 9-2. Like, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. I don't think they have a crazy difficult schedule either, like who they've played, but they're winning.
You know who we said that about last year was the Chiefs. And, yes, they made it to a Super Bowl, but they went and they got exposed there. They got fucking shellacked by the Eagles.
Did they get exposed? Because they went. They beat the Bills on the way. And
it wasn't competitive. It was one of the worst Super Bowls I've seen in recent memory. Honestly, maybe in the last 10 to 15 years because of how bad the Chiefs were. The Chiefs went and they won because of bad penalties and just things just falling in their favor. They fucking fell backwards in that Super Bowl. I will die on that hill.
It's no different this year with them. They're just the record looks different, but
exactly because it's not always going to work for them. But that's just my thought.
This game's also being played at Arrowhead, which I think adds an added degree of difficulty for the Colts coming in because the Colts
they're playing a dome.
You guys are both taking the Colts here.
I like the Colts 3.5.
I don't know, man. I really don't know.
My brain tells me the Colts, but especially when you're in Arrowhead, you're playing the Chiefs and you're playing the refs, and I think that's too much to overcome.
Chiefs are going to win.
Colts
are going to cover. Colts are going to cover. How many games did the Colts Chiefs win by a field goal last year? They got it. How many games did they win by a field goal last year? Fuck ton.
Good amount. Yeah, I think it was like 10.
So I think covering. I think that's well within the realm of possibilities. I think it's gonna be a low scoring game. What's the over under? Like 42.5?
49.5.
Oh, hammer that under. Hammer that under.
I don't hate that. That's not a bad play. I hope this game is not going to, but I hope this game is going to be nationally televised.
No.
Can we? I need more ice for my drink here.
Go for it.
What is the next game? You guys want to do Jets Ravens or no?
Sure. Why not?
All right, kick us off, Jerry.
How about it, Jerry?
The Jets are walking into M&T Bank Stadium, and it's going to be a bloodbath. I think the spread here, it's just not going to be pretty. Like, it's fine. I've accepted it. And here, listen, we're in a weird spot here because we know what the deal is. We know what to expect for the rest of the season, and that's fine. And I'm not upset about anything nearly as much as our other co-host who couldn't be here tonight is, mainly because, like, you watch that Thursday night game, that entire game, until like the fourth quarter, the first drive of the fourth quarter, I think I went to bed. I called it. I thought we were in the entire. We lost to arguably, I don't want to say the best team in the NFL, but one of the best teams in the NFL. We only lost to by 2 scores. We were in that game the entire time. We hung in there, and that's what we do. Like, they're not a good football team, and I know in the NFL the only thing that matters is wins. That's it. But we're not getting blown out. You know, like we're competing with teams. We're playing with teams. Who gives a shit if you're doing your best? All that matters is what you have in the win column. But it's still not as bad as I feel like people make it out to be. Let's see. Is FanDuel just open? So the line's 13.5, 2 scores. The Jets could cover this game, man. They're plus 830 on the money line. That's insane. Shit, I might throw like $1 or $2 on that to see what we can get from there. But
I normally would say, yeah, they would cover, but the Ravens defense since that trade deadline has been spectacular. Like the last couple of weeks, they've been very good. And I'm just afraid of a Tyrod Taylor-led offense. No Garrett Wilson. Like, what do they really have to do? You shut down Breece Hall, and that team doesn't. They don't have any. The Jets don't have anything to do. So like, even Justin Fields, I could feel a little bit better about because I think he can make some plays with his legs. But I think it's Mason Taylor's going to get 10 targets, and Breece Hall is going to touch the ball 30 times tomorrow between the pass and the run, and we'll see what the fuck happens.
People are excited to see Tyrod, which I don't quite understand.
There's nothing exciting about Tyrod.
Yeah, and everyone I've spoke to is that he gives you more of a fighting chance than Fields does. Like, I just don't know if that's really the case. Tyrod, I feel like Tyrod's done. I think this might be his last stop. I could be wrong about that. I could be eating those words, but it definitely feels like it's the end of the road for him. But I don't know, man. Like They just end the season. I know it's an ongoing joke, but still, like it's the truth. Like it's over, and I'm going to continue to watch them every Sunday just because. But like we know what it is, and we know what we're getting now, and it's over, dude. We're playing for a draft pick. I would love to squeak out 1 or 2 more wins. I just don't know where exactly it's going to happen. Let's take a look at what we got left. My internet is shit tonight. I don't know what's going on. This loads. Here we go. So after this week, we got the Falcons, which we could win that game. Then we play the Dolphins, which we also could win. Jags is probably going to be a loss. Saints is a toss-up. Pats is a loss, maybe. And we got the Bills week 18. So the rest of the schedule is kind of a shake-up. I could see us maybe walking away with 3 more wins, hopefully, and that's being optimistic.
You could win 3 or 4 more games, to be honest. I mean,
I think so.
The Jags really aren't that good. You could win the next 4 games. The Falcons after the Ravens, obviously. The Falcons, the Dolphins, the Jaguars, and the Saints. And that would be the worst thing fucking possible for you guys because at this rate, you're going to see the Giants lose a bunch of games. And if you're having to trade up for a quarterback, or at least up like 6, 7, 8 picks, you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to give up basically everything you traded this trade deadline for the quarterback. And you never, obviously, you always make that trade, but you don't know if it's in this draft. I don't know how comfortable you feel with guys like Mendoza or.
I will say this: I think the Jets are in a much better situation than the Atlanta Falcons.
The Falcons are in an awful position. They're actually.
Well, you just hate the Falcons, dude.
I just hate this idea that Michael Penix was good.
Not even
wasn't
that.
good. He came in with a bunch of injuries. Now he gets hurt again. Shocker.
Same ACL for the third
26-year-old getting his third ACL surgery. Like, oh my God. Shocker that was going to blow up in our face. Trading up to get him. Mortgaging our future. Oh, by the way, we also gave Kirk Cousins all
$80 million.
All of the money. Not some of the money, all of the money. So
they lost their first round pick to the Rams. What did they for what? Who did they trade up for last year?
Michael Penix. Oh no. Michael Penix was
the year before.
Was the year before. I don't think they had a first round pick last year. I think
they did. They traded this year's first round pick to the Rams. James Pierce. They traded their first round pick this year and their second round pick last year to trade up and pick James Pierce. And now they're going to be picking the Rams. The Rams, who are, in my opinion, the Super Bowl favorite, are going to be picking with the top 5, maybe a top 10, maybe a top 5 pick. They could get the quarterback to replace Matthew Stafford in this draft. Sit behind it for a year and then replace it. The Falcons had absolutely shit down their leg and have made, honestly, probably what's going to be one of the worst decisions in football history because this Rams dynasty is going to be able to continue on.
No, Michael Penix is the best. The guy could throw a ball like 70 yards, so he's the best.
It's thrown in slow motion.
Tell me he's not the best. I don't know.
It's thrown in slow motion, 60, 70 yards.
we have a great NFC North matchup, 1:00 tomorrow as well. Yeah. Vikings are going to Green Bay. Vikings are coming off a loss against the Bears. The Packers have not looked great. The Giants could not help me last week.
Sorry about that.
The fucking Packers. I think the Packers are going to win this game. I think, I guess. Well, you think?
I think the Vikings win.
Enlighten me. You think the Vikings win?
I think the Vikings win.
I'll take your money. Yeah, you want to throw money on that?
The Vikings defense is very beatable. Or I'm sorry, the Green Bay defense is very beatable on the ground. You could run on them a bit, and then they have no weapons right now. They're down Tucker Kraft. They're down Matthew Golden. Christian Watson popped up on the injury report this week. And they are now down Josh Jacobs is also out. You have he's
questionable.
He's questionable.
Josh Jacobs is questionable.
It's not official yet.
Walker is doubtful, so he's probably not paying.
Christian Walker.
Golden is questionable. Van Ness is questionable. I don't see Watkins on this.
Game time decision.
Romeo.
And who else did you say? Romeo Dobbs practiced in full this week.
Yeah, no, he's playing. Golden is questionable. Golden, Jacobs, Van Ness.
Quay Walker's doubtful. That's never good.
He's not going to play. I would love the Vikings to win here.
They have 3 receivers who are questionable: Dontavian Wicks, Matthew Golden, and Watson. I think this is another game. What's the over-under on this one? Probably somewhere like 44.5, 43.5.
41.5.
41.5. I'd probably mess around with that under. It's going to be an ugly game. I think both teams are going to struggle to move the ball. I think Jordan Love has looked fucking awful the past few weeks.
Yeah.
And
there's people calling for Matt LaFleur's head.
Yeah.
Please fire him so the Giants can give him a second chance. Please.
You're that desperate?
I'm not that desperate. Matt LaFleur is a very good coach.
Matt LaFleur, You want to talk about the upper echelon that we mentioned earlier in the show.
Matt LaFleur is a top 15, if not top 10 coach in the NFL, easily, I think.
How
many good coaches are in the NFL, let alone great. And I think he's borderline great.
I think there's a lot of good coaches. I think there's really bad organizations, and I think that's the problem. I don't think the problem is necessarily the coaching in this league. I think it's the organizations behind the coaching, right? Like, do we really think Kevin Stefanski is that bad? I don't think so. I think the Browns are a fucking disaster. And don't get me wrong, I think Stefanski's probably gonna lose his job too. But like, is he really that bad? I don't think so.
Did he fight for Baker Mayfield, or was he part of the reason that they dropped him, that they would let him go?
I don't know. I
don't think he fought for them, but I don't think he was against them.
If the thing is if my team is dropping what Baker Mayfield is going, he's going to be a borderline Hall of Famer.
Let's not forget though that like the Panthers also bad organization.
The Panthers
also dropped. Like the Panthers had him playing scout team DN.
Yeah.
So
no, I mean,
like it's bad. There's a lot of
bad organizations.
Like the Bengals are a prime example. Is Zach Taylor a really bad head coach, or the Bengals just an awful organization that mishandles everything? By the way, you refused to trade Trey Hendrickson. Now he's not playing for you. Now I think they're calling it a hip injury. I don't know what they're calling it, but I think it's bullshit. I think he doesn't want to play. I think he's straight up like, you didn't trade me. You're fucking idiots. Now I'm not playing, and I'm going to ride into free agency, and I'm going to get paid. You guys are fucking morons. Like, bad organizations continue to make bad decisions. And I mean, I don't know. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth with the Lions playing the Giants tomorrow, but like the Giants are another organization. Like, why do you fire Dable and you keep Joe Shane? What?
Yeah.
What has Joe Shane done? Okay, last year's draft class was good. Okay, you've been the GM here for 5 years. Deonte Banks has been a disaster, and Deonte Banks has all the intangibles to be a great secondary. Like, if he can't cut it at corner, why haven't you moved him to safety? Like, there is a job for this guy. Like, I guarantee Deonte Banks, I am licking my chops for you guys to cut him in a year, because I would love to see a resurgence from him in like I would love it, because I don't think I refused, and part of it is because I scouted him a little coming out of college, and
I liked him. I thought he was
my highest cornerback in terms of like where he was going to be 3 years from now. Well, 3 years from then, and he has not panned out. I think a lot of it is just like is just bad organizations.
I agree. They've done a bad job with the defensive coordinators there. I mean, Wink Martindale his scheme didn't fit Deonte Banks, and now what's his name? Fucking sucks. Their current defensive coordinator. Shane Bowen. There we go. I don't want to forget that name.
You have the Vikings tomorrow.
I have the Vikings. Yeah.
Where are you at here, Jerry?
What's the spread on that one? 4.5?
6.
Oh,
yeah,
6. Take that.
It's crazy too, because the first 3 weeks of the season, all we heard about was how the Packers are going to win the Super Bowl and all that fucking jazz, and now
the Bears are leaving the division,
flailing.
Crazy.
I don't know, dude. It's tough because, like, you want to believe in JJ, you really do, but when push comes to shove, like, despite being as banged up as they are, the Packers do have,
Talking about JJ or 9? Which one?
What?
Because there's 2.
Oh, I'm talking about 9. I'm sorry.
You're talking about 9. Right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, it's 9.
Honestly, you know what's funny? He looks, not only in person, but his quarterback play, he looks a lot like Zach Wilson. Oof. Like, you put their pictures side to side, they look so much alike.
I guess kind of look alike.
But I don't know, dude. Like, it's not, that spread tells me that it's not supposed to be as much as a toss up as I think it's going to be. But if I had to pick a team here, I'm going to pick the Packers. But I think
the Packers. I think the Packers win. I don't think they cover the spread.
Yeah,
I think it's a tight game. I think the score is not going to reflect the game. So I think that the score will be closer than the spread here. But I think the Packers will be in control of the whole game. I think the Packers have flaws, but I think they're better. They're better than the Vikings. They're at home. They should win this game. I mean, listen, they also should have beaten the Panthers at home. So you never know what you're going to get out of the Packers week to week.
Almost lost to the Browns, too.
They did lose to the Browns.
They did lose to the Browns. You're right.
That's one of their 3 losses. Yeah. So It's going to be interesting because I think, the Packers have to play the Bears.
It's going to be a dogfight in that NFC North.
It will be. It will be.
I think the Bears twice, the Vikings 2 times, and you guys once.
Yeah.
They have 5.
We play them on Thanksgiving. We play them in 4 days, 5 days, 6 days, whatever it is, 6 days.
The Pack?
Yeah. Play the Packers.
The Lions.
So Jerry, you're taking the Packers here?
I'm going to take the Packers here. Yeah.
I'm going to take the Packers here too because good things don't always happen to me. So
I got the Vikings.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
Me too.
Don't listen. If you're putting any financial gain into this pick, do not because
I don't think I'm betting on this game. No,
I'm on a cold streak of cold streaks, dude. I can't win a fucking bet to save.
I think honestly, the only thing I might do is bet on JJ to throw a pick, or I might bet on fucking Jordan to throw a pick. I don't know.
Bet on both.
I can, but it doesn't let you parlay them.
No, it doesn't let you parlay
them. Yeah, you have to single bet those.
Those are 2 good secondaries. So hey.
Steelers Bears. That game's going to be in Chicago. It looks like Mason Rudolph is going to be starting for.
You think so?
Fuck. Yeah, Bears are going to win this game.
I don't know, dude. I don't know if the Bears are going to win this game. It's looked ugly for them the past couple of weeks.
I think it's going to happen.
The Steelers. What's the spread on that? It's probably Bears minus like 9.5.
2.5.
Really? Oh wow.
Bears minus 2.5. Yeah.
With Mason Rudolph. Holy shit.
Yeah, I forgot he was still there. It's kind of crazy that they haven't gotten any better.
I mean, quarterback. I don't know. I mean, you have the Bears' defense is not good. Not really that good. It's all right. It's weak. It's weak against the run. That's where the Steelers' strong suit is. They could run the ball with Kenneth Gainwell and Jaylen Warren if he's playing. I'm not sure if he is. They could hand the ball off to them 30 times, and not let Mason Rudolph really touch the ball and just eat clock and let their defense get to work. Because that Steelers defense has been on the past few weeks. So I don't know. It's a tough game. I think
just for perspective here, the Bears are coming into this game with the second overall rushing offense at 146 yards a game, 146.6. That's crazy. Ben Johnson.
And
it's even crazier because DeAndre Swift has not been a fantasy asset that I expected him to be with what you said.
It's just as a team, they're just finding ways between Swift, Caleb getting his yards here and there, and I don't even know who the backup is. Swift is at 634 yards in the season.
The Steelers' defense, the rushing defense, is top half of the league, and honestly, the only 2 games I can remember off the top of my head where they've allowed a decent bit of rushing yards was to the Bengals 2 weeks, twice this season. Chase Brown with I think hitting 90 yards in one game and eclipsing 100 in the other. So this is a Steelers defense that's going to be tough up front. They're going to get after the pass rush. This is a well improved Bears offensive line, so it's going to be tough for them to get home. And Caleb's done a good job of avoiding the sacks, so. We shall see how they do, but I think this is going to be another close one, and I think the Bears, this is not going to be a cakewalk for them this week. I really don't, even with Mason Rudolph starting.
I think this is going to be a pretty good game, all things considered.
I think it's going to be a really good game.
Rodgers is okay. So Rodgers is questionable. I thought he was out.
No, it's not definitive. Yeah, he's still.
I think Rodgers wants to play the Bears.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. He wants
Rodgers
to beat the Bears one more
plays, hammer the Steelers.
I don't know.
The time to do that's probably now because Vegas is telling us Mason Rudolph is going to play,
and even that they have they have it as a pickup with Mason Rudolph playing.
2.5. I'm going to take the Bears here. I just don't think the Steelers are that good. I hope that I'm wrong, but I think the Bears are going to keep winning here. I think they're going to win this game. I think it does get a little tough for the Bears here. They're going to Philly next week, and then they play in Green Bay. They play the Browns, and then they play the Packers at home, and then it's Niners in San Francisco, and then it's us week 18. So the Bears are going to have a tough end to the season here. But if they win this game, I think they're making the playoffs because you got to win like one of those Packers games. You're going to beat the Browns. Playing the Niners is going to be tough.
I think at the end of the day, you're looking at the Seahawks in the playoffs, and then
yes, the Seahawks and the Rams.
The Seahawks, the Rams, you have the Buccaneers, you have the Eagles, and then I think it's two teams from the NFC North. It's going to be the Packers and the Lions.
I have this feeling like the Packers are going to miss the playoffs, and it's going to.
But who would make it above them? The 49ers?
I think the Bears will.
Well, no, I have the Bears in the playoffs. So would it be the 49ers is making that other wild card
yeah,
spot?
because the Niners' schedule from here on out isn't crazy. They're playing Monday night.
They play the Texans, if I'm not mistaken.
They're playing the Panthers, and then they play the Panthers, Browns, and then it's a bye week, and then it's Titans, Colts, Bears, Seahawks. So like,
okay,
if they beat the Panthers, that they're at 8 wins. They beat the Browns, they're at 9 wins. Bye week, beat the Titans, they're at 10 wins. I think one more win in the last 3 weeks, and they're in. I think 11 wins might get them in. I feel like if you're an NFC team, your magic number is 12. You get to 12, you know you're in. I think you get to 11. I think there might be an 11-win team this year that doesn't get in, and that could be the Bears, that could be the Lions, that could be a lot of different
Packers.
teams.
The
Bears win 11 games,
Packers
they'll make the playoffs. Christ almighty!
If the Packers are at 11 wins, they'll get in because they have the tie, so they'll have one less loss. That's what's going to help them. But
it's a strong NFC. I mean, it's a really strong NFC. I think the Cowboys are going to finish the season pretty strong.
I think the Cowboys are just going to be on the edge of missing the playoffs.
They're a team that's going to hit 9 wins. They could hit 10, and that'll definitely be a game or two shot. The Panthers have been playing very well. The Panthers could be a team that finishes with 10 wins as well. So this is a very strong NFC picture. And
are the Bucks at?
They're at 6.
They're at 6. How many wins are the Bucks at? The Bucks are at 6 wins, and the Panthers are also at 6 wins. So,
I think you only see one team from the South make it to the playoffs, but we got a couple more weeks before we get there.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on. Sunny Days media matchup here. Lions play the Giants. Bass, we'll start with you. Jameis is starting. It's not going to be Jackson Dart.
It's not Jackson Dart. My first thought was, is this them being cautious? I know he didn't clear concussion protocol, but you can kind of game that a bit, right? If someone's good to progress in the concussion protocol, you can still make them redo a stage, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. You don't have to.
So I think this is a team decision. I think it's being disguised as he's still in the concussion protocol, but I think this is a team decision. I think they want him to get the extra week, given the hits he's taken and everything. Just give him that extra week to get better, especially not playing a big matchup in Detroit against the Detroit team. You know that they have had a rough season, but their defense is still good. Their team is great. This would be a tall task for him, and had nothing to say other than that. Go out and lose. Get us a good draft pick. No, but I think the Lions are going to see some troubles up front. You know, you've seen the pass rush get after the passer the past few weeks, pretty much all season with Brian Burns. But Dexter Lawrence has been getting home a little bit more. He's been getting into the backfield, wrecking havoc, whether it's in the run game or the pass game. And I think you're due for a good big Abdul Carter week. Eventually, I think you're going to see Brian Burns against Penei Sewell all game, and then you're going to have to get that.
I disagree. I think Brian Burns is going to be on Taylor Decker or who's ever at left tackle.
I disagree. I think it's going to be Brian Burns.
It's always your best pass rusher against the worst part of the line. Penei Sewell's playing. Taylor Decker is questionable. I mean, they're both questionable, but Decker's been banged up. He's 10 years older. I think 100% you are going to see Brian Burns on Taylor Decker for like 70% of the snaps. It just makes more sense. Why would you have Brian Burns in Jared Goff's side of view? You'd rather have him on the blind side with the worst tackle where Jared Goff can't see.
I suppose, but I think Abdul Carter has given you a little bit more faith of his ability to at least get there in a hurry. He has great pressure rates. He's getting to the quarterback quicker than Brian Burns is. He's not finishing the sacks, but he's getting to the quarterback at a better clip. He's doing a good job. He's just not finishing the sacks. I think he's due for a big game soon. I don't know if it's going to be this week, but it's going to be coming soon. And just with Dexter Lawrence coming through in the B gap, that's going to leave Abdul Carter out on an island. I think the big problem this season, I don't know if it's on Shane Bowen or if it's Abdul Carter, use his bend to his advantage. He's trying to take on the tackle dead on too often. You're going to get some of those dirty sacks if you take it a little bit wider and use your bend to your advantage, but you're also going to get those sacks, and you're going to open up things more for some stunts and just to come around and to give the tackle different looks. So I think that's the big thing for the Giants. Let's get some let's get after Jared Goff, make some mistakes, and maybe something can happen. But the secondary's awful, and it's just going to allow Jared Goff to get the ball out quick to guys like Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and these guys are going to be able to catch the ball in open space and get those yak yards and pretty much just dance all over the Giants all game. If Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery don't do it themselves on the ground. So
last week was frustrating. It was frustrating. It was frustrating the way the game ended. But I can't sit here and blame the refs. I mean, brutal call in the end of the game.
As bad as it comes. As bad as it comes.
But at the same rate, I mean, it doesn't help when Dan Campbell's going for it like 4 times in field goal range.
How windy was it though?
The posts were moving, so it was windy, but I'd rather see them try to kick there. Jake Bates has a very strong leg. They said in warm-ups he was missing. I was tailgating, so I didn't really see him warming up.
Yeah.
Apparently he was missing a lot in warm-ups, and they just didn't feel good about him that day. I'm still going with Jake Bates. Like, Jake Bates has made a lot of tough kicks for you in the past, 2 years it is now. I did not agree with how Dan handled 3rd and 4th down last week. I mean, the Eagles are really good. So coming out of that game, I didn't feel like the sky, like a lot of Lions fans had the idea of the sky is falling. And a lot of Eagles fans that were around me they were giving it to me, right? I'm at the game.
Yeah.
And they're being dicks and whatever. But which, first of all, I got to say, Eagles fans are still nowhere near as bad as dealing with Giants fans at MetLife. Like it's not not even close. Nope. There is no worse fan base to deal with at a game than New York Giants fans. That's that.
Well, thanks.
The second thing, I didn't feel as bad leaving that game. Like it sucked to lose in that moment. And it's not a spin zone. It sucks, right? You went from potentially being the 2 seed to now out of the playoffs and 3rd in the division. That sucks. However, we stopped the tush push 3 or 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Eagles' secret. Like that's what they do, right? When push comes to shove, that's what they do. Yeah. When the game is on the line, that's what they do. And we had gotten them to turn the ball over on downs a couple of times. They weren't able to convert like they wanted to. Like that's their bread and butter. So personally, I just feel if we have to see them again in a playoff game, I actually feel pretty good about that.
I agree. And I think that the conditions definitely played more so against the Lions than did the Eagles. The Eagles are one of
teams have to play outside. I mean,
100%. But I think the Eagles want to be on the ground. They want to run the ball more than they're going to pass the ball, and they're not going to be driving the ball downfield. But the Lions are going to look for that. And Jared Goff plays a little bit worse in bad conditions, and Jake Bates obviously spooked Dan Campbell a bit, and made him want to lead into what he likes to do, and that's go for it. And maybe that's what is the difference in the Lions winning versus them not. So I think it's a good learning experience for Dan Campbell.
That's exactly how I viewed it. I think that Dan sees what he did wrong. And I think, make no mistake about it, Jared Goff didn't play a great game. He played a bad game. But there's you could come out of this. I don't think Jalen Hurts could play much better. I think what we see out of Jalen Hurts week after week, this is what it is. Jared Goff can play better. And I think ultimately Dan Campbell fucked that game for them. If Dan Campbell was just a little more conservative, they're winning that game. Because now the Eagles have to play a little more desperate. They can't be as aggressive on defense. They were teeing off because we were doing the same thing every time. And we weren't getting it. I think you put us in a situation where Dan Campbell's kicking those field goals. I think the Eagles are playing differently on offense and defense. So I think going forward, if we're fortunate enough to see them in the playoffs, I feel very good about playing them. I really do. I feel better about playing them than I do the Rams, right?
Rams are the best team.
100%.
So
I think the Rams team are the best team in football. Honestly,
I'll retweet that for sure.
I don't like the Eagles won that game, but I think second time around, I think the Lions are going to beat them. So yeah, as for tomorrow, they have to bounce back. They have to get back to what they do, and that's pounding the rock. Like, yeah, there was a lot of like little things that went wrong. You know, St. Brown dropping balls, J-Mo dropping balls. Now Laporta is going to be on IR, and he just got back surgery. We're probably not.
Oh, did you really? I didn't see that.
Yeah,
I think he's out the rest of the year.
He's out for the regular season. Yeah, maybe back for the playoffs. Who knows? But, this is like, I hate to say it's a get right game. You got to beat up on the Giants, and you got to beat the Giants, and then you got to come out on Thanksgiving. You don't have to cover the spread, but you got to beat the Packers.
Beat the Packers.
You got to get these 2 wins in a 5-day span, and give yourself, what would it be? It'd be 8 wins, going into that next week. So
what do you have, the Packers on Thursday?
We have the Packers on Thanksgiving, yes, sir.
Oh, Thanksgiving, yeah, duh. That's next Thursday, isn't it?
Yeah. Matt, did you breathe a sigh of relief when you heard Jackson Dart will be missing another game?
I mean, Jameis could come out and throw for like
100%.
Yeah, but he's also going to throw 5 picks. So,
yeah, I'd rather play Jameis than Jackson Dart. I think Jackson Dart is really good.
Yeah,
I mean, he's been really good for a rookie. I think he makes mistakes, so it wouldn't have affected me either way.
No.
It doesn't matter who's under center. We should beat you. Maybe we won't cover a 13-point spread. That's a lot.
Well, the spread would probably be 9 with Jackson Dart or so.
We should win. So
you guys. I mean, I don't think there's a chance in hell the Giants win that game. Even if the Lions don't play their best, you're going to see Jameis Winston turn the ball over. You're going to see them run all over this defense.
Did Jameis turn the ball over last week or no? He was kind of
last play of the game. There was a pick that honestly wasn't his fault. Jalen Hyatt just kind of gave up on a route, but there was also like 5 dropped interceptions by the Packers before that one. So he only turned the ball over once, but it could very easily have been 4 or 5 times. So it was ugly for Jameis Winston, and it's probably going to be more of the same on Sunday or tomorrow. So the Giants, their clear focus is trying to figure out what to do with Abdul Carter. How can they get him home and get him some sacks, and scheme him up? Obviously, you want to scheme up Brian Burns, you want to scheme up Dexter Lawrence, but I think scheming up Abdul Carter's got to be part of it, and then just letting this offensive line continue to grow. With how this offensive line has looked, it's not a top 10 offensive line in the year. It's not a top 5. It might be a top 10, definitely a top 15 offensive line. Andrew Thomas is great at left tackle. Jermaine Illuminor is great at right tackle. John Michael Schmitz has been good and getting better at center. And John Runyon's been a good guard. This is an offensive line since as a Brasillo, the Raiders offensive line coach, came here 2 years ago. That has been getting better, week after week, year after year. And hopefully this is a turning point for the Giants offensive line. We basically have not had a good offensive line since their last Super Bowl. Basically all I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
Seahawks, Titans. I think we're all taking the Seahawks there.
Twice on Sunday.
Jacksonville is going to Arizona.
Jacksonville.
I think I'm taking Jacksonville. Jacoby Brissett looks like he's going to start the rest of the games this year.
What do they do with Kyler Murray? Like what?
I think he's on the roster another year because it's a lot of dead money, and then I think after next year, I guess he gets cut, unless they could find a trade partner, which I don't imagine. And like I read some Jets fan fiction of Kyler Murray coming here, and my God, please don't do that.
Fan fiction? That's a fucking.
I've also heard Jets fan fiction about us getting Patty Mahomes and Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow, yeah.
Joe Burrow, if
Name
you
him, Mason.
trade 5 first-round picks, do you think the Bengals would do that? 5 first, everything.
I think you'd be terrible. That's a death wish.
For who?
What's he gonna come here and do?
For both.
Throw the ball
For
to
both,
Garrett
for both.
Wilson behind a great offensive line.
Oh,
No,
you're right. Just like
Garrett
Jamar
Wilson
Chase.
isn't that good though. Garrett Wilson is not Jamar Chase.
Yeah, but he has an offensive line. Joe Burrow with a good offensive line can make Garrett Wilson look like Jamar Chase.
No more fan
Yes.
fiction. No more fan fiction. We're going to the 4:00 games. Browns play the Raiders. That's a snooze fest. Eagles are going to Dallas. Eagles are 3-point favorites here.
That's going to be a great game. Very
That
good.
should be a
3.5?
pretty decent game.
Even 3 or 3.5?
3.5. I
Well,
got him at 3.
ESPN.
No,
I'm going
ESPN
off-
has him at 3. Yeah.
I'm going on ESPN bet, but I don't bet through them. I bet
Yeah.
through FanDuel. So
Do you see him at 3.5? I like the Cowboys to cover at 3.5. Honestly,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean the
think
Cowboys'
defense
offense is legit.
Cowboys' offense is legit. I think that defense, while it's not going to be good in the secondary, that's not where I'm worried about the Eagles' offense. I'm worried about their ability to run the ball with Saquon and Jalen Hurts, and I think Quinn Williams makes that front seven and their ability to stop the run better. I'm not going to say much better, but better, because that's still a bad defense, but it's now not the worst defense in the league.
I think
It's
the
just
Eagles
better.
are just going to continue to do enough here to win in the regular season. I think they'll win like probably 13 regular season games, maybe 14.
I might sprinkle a little Cowboys money line. I think the Cowboys could come out and beat the Eagles. They almost
Not really a
did
fun
to open
money
the
line.
season.
It's 145. So you have to like parlay
Parlay it, yeah. Parlay with the Vikings.
Okay. So you're taking the Cowboys here?
I like the Cowboys, yeah.
I'm also on
That
the
would be
Cowboys. I've been betting the Cowboys all season long, and there's been ups and downs. But I don't know, dude. It's tough to beat the same team twice in one season. And we're talking about the Bills and the Pats and how they're going to beat them 3 times in one season, let alone 2. So, like, I don't know. Here's a divisional game. Dallas always plays Philly pretty well. They're riding the high
In
off.
Dallas.
Sunday, was it Sunday or Monday night? Sunday night, I think it was.
Beat
Right?
the Raiders.
No, I'm talking about the Eagles Lions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they're coming off a hot that's a I know it doesn't really mean much in the grand scheme of things, but that's a big win for the Eagles. They're in a primetime game, so they're coming off of that. So I don't know here. I think I don't want to, it's a toss up, but now with Dallas's rejuvenated defense, Quinn Williams is there, and I think they're just feeling better. You're starting to see it too. There's a whole different energy on that side of the ball for them. So I think this is going to be a good game, and I'm leaning Dallas. Is it in Dallas or is it at?
It is in Dallas.
Dallas.
In Dallas. All right. Yeah, even more the reason to lean Dallas.
I'm going to take the Eagles here. I think the Eagles defense is the Eagles offense. So yeah, I guess the more I think about it, I do think Dallas should win because the Eagles defense is real good.
They're good.
But the Eagles offense is not very good, but at the same rate. And yes, the rules favor the offense. There's no doubt about it. But I think the Eagles will find a way to win. I guess I'd like to see Dallas win, but I don't know. Saints Falcons, that's a shit matchup. Sunday Night Football is going to be great. Buccaneers at Rams. The Rams are 7-point favorites.
Hammer 'em.
I guess that's right. I mean, the
In LA, right?
It's in LA. Everyone's hurt in
Tampa.
In Tampa. I mean,
Seven
the Panthers.
forget it.
If the Panthers win, which they probably won't beat the Niners on Monday night, but like,
I
hey,
disagree.
if the Panthers win,
I disagree hardcore.
do you think the Panthers win?
Yes,
I had
do.
them. I had them when they beat the Packers. I do not have them this week. I think Christian McCaffrey's going to have an insane.
They're
game.
plus 300
Who?
money line. The
The
Panthers.
Panthers. You might need to sprinkle a little bit on that just for
Brock
fun. But
Purdy is going to play.
start.
I'd like to see the Panthers win. I'd so much rather see the Panthers win this division. If the Lions are a wild card team, I'd so much rather go to
Play the Panthers.
than have to play the Bucks.
I agree. I think the Rams hammer the Bucks this week. I think the Rams are the best team in football. Kind of without really much competition at this point. I think every other team's a step below them. That defense is insane. You have multiple weapons on offense at the receiving position, out of the backfield. and Matthew Stafford is playing better than he ever has in his career. He's probably the MVP favorite, maybe co-MVP favorite with Myles Garrett at this point.
Yeah.
And
it's not going to go to a defensive player.
I mean, if he has 25 sacks, it might go to a defensive player.
You know what? I thought this the year that J.J. Watt had like 22 and a half, and he had 4 touchdowns, and he had 2 picks, and he had a bunch of fumble recoveries. Like, it should have went to J.J. Watt, but I believe it went to Matt Ryan that year. Was it Matt Ryan?
He had 5,000 yards and I think like 40 touchdowns, though. Matthew Stafford isn't going to might eclipse 4,000 and probably won't eclipse 40 touchdowns.
He's not throwing picks.
That's the big thing. So yeah. I think it's kind of a 2-horse race at this point for MVP. It's Myles Garrett and Matthew Stafford, and no one else is really that close.
Jonathan Taylor is damn close.
100%.
Jonathan Taylor.
He's a running back, though. That's the thing.
Yards. If Jonathan,
I'll tell you what, a running back will get the MVP well before defensive.
You think so?
100%.
Look at history.
No, you're right.
The last defensive player was Lawrence Taylor. The last non-quarterback was Adrian Peterson after coming off the ACL injury.
ACL, yeah.
2012.
I had fantasy that year. No, you're right. You're right. But Jonathan Taylor's in the conversation. Yeah. But the Rams are good. The Rams are damn good at football.
Rams are damn good.
Damn good team. Chris Shule is a great defensive coordinator. Please hire him, Joe Schoen. And
let's hope Joe Schoen is not making those decisions.
Oh yeah.
I don't have faith in John Mara to fire him. I don't know who I'd rather a fucking brick wall try to figure out who the next coach of the Giants is than Joe Schoen or John Mara at this point. Just fucking
Stevie Mack wants Panthers Super Bowl.
Panthers.
Just it ain't the Lions. I'll root for the Panthers, brother.
Just put a name on a dart. Put a bunch of names on a dartboard and throw a dart instead of picking, because whoever picks the coach is probably going to pick the wrong person. If it's John Mara or Joe Schoen, I'd rather them just give it up the chance.
All right, boys. We got anything else, or
talk Monday night?
Give it the show. Oh, talk Monday night. All right, Panthers at Niners.
No, I think this is going to be, I don't want to call it a coming out party of sorts for the Panthers, because the Panthers are here and you can see what they are. They're a scrappy underdog team who's stringing together wins that no one expects them to get, especially that Packers win. But I think this is going to be, I saw the script on Twitter. It got leaked to me. So basically what's going to happen is they're going to win on Monday. And then the following week, who do they have? The Rams. They're going to play the Rams week 13. That hasn't loaded yet. This is just me trying to remember. Hold on one second. Bear with my shitty.
You're talking about the Panthers schedule?
The Panthers, yeah.
The Panthers play. They're going to play the Niners, and then they play the Rams at home.
They do play the Rams. Okay, I got it right. Yeah. So what's going to happen is they're going to beat the Niners, and then they're going to lose to the Rams, and it's going to be a close game, and they're going to win that division. And I think that's how everything's going to play out here.
And then if you're looking at the rest of their season, they have a bye week the following, and then they're in New Orleans to play the Saints, and then they play the Bucs, and then they play the Seahawks, and then they play the Bucs. Like, that's the tough part, is that
the Seahawks 2 out of 3 against the Bucs, yeah.
And they play the Seahawks in between. Like, the Seahawks are going to beat them, the Rams are going to beat them.
Seahawks might not beat them. The Seahawks are bad. Against it. Granted, it was the Rams' very, very good defense. But Seahawks is very bad.
East Coast team flying to the West Coast.
It's going to Seattle.
Yeah, it just never bodes well, and the Seahawks are very good.
Is this in Carolina on Monday night? Is it coming home for CMC?
It is in Carolina. Oh, you're talking about? No, in San Francisco.
Okay, so it's not a homecoming for CMC.
No. Which he's from Denver, I think.
Yeah, but he started playing in
That's
his career in Carolina. So
yeah,
I think the Carolina. What's the spread on that game? 4.5, 5.5
on Monday night.
Yeah, Monday night.
7. ESPN bet has that 7.
Yeah,
I think that's
insane. That's insane.
I think you go with the Panthers.
100%.
On the spread, I think the 49ers.
I think the spread's a lock. I like money line if you want to gamble.
I like that spread.
We'll see how we do on Sunday. If I have a good Sunday, I'll throw on Monday night.
Sounds good to me. I like the sound of that.
All right, Bass, you have anything else on this week?
No, that's about it.
Jerry? Jerry?
I'm sorry. No, it's so spotty. It's ridiculous. And I apologize to the folks at home listening if it was just whatever. So, no parting words. Just excited for our slate of football. Hopefully we can win some money here. And yeah, there's a couple good games. I hope everyone's excited. And then we're going to look forward to I'm very excited for next week. I think next week's going to be awesome. So on to week 11. Let's do it.
All right. Let's go Lions.
Let's go Lions.
Everybody enjoy.
Oh, I'm sorry.